want to try and hold it together. But I wasn't going to speak today. When we were planning this wedding, I was like to Laura, I don't need to speak, there's going to be loads of people speaking. But she said, well, who's going to do all the thank yous? And then I thought to myself, Jesus, of course I have to speak. Because saying thank you to everybody that's been involved in today, and not just today, our lives, is the most important thing I'm doing today, with the exception of obviously marrying this very beautiful woman down here, Laura. Give her a round of applause. It's been a massive journey, hasn't it? It's like, I think, I could have got married at 23, 25, 28, but, it would have been a very different wedding, and it would have been a very different speech, because I think I was probably, as those of you that knew me back then, I was probably a slightly egocentric, maybe, a little bit self-serving sometimes, but I was a different person. But I'm 55 years old now, can you believe that shit? 55 now. And here I am getting married. And so today is a very different speech. And it's a speech of thanks and warmth to everybody that's played a part in that journey. And a lot of you are here today, and I really, really appreciate that. Before I talk about all you guys and talk about the people that have been involved in today in our lives, I just want to say a couple of things about people that are not here. And there's a couple of people in particular that I want to speak about. And the first person is Darren, who is Laura's brother, who's not with us anymore. I know Laura's mum would have loved him to have been here, would have loved him to have met me, would have loved him to have met Leo. But sadly that didn't happen. But there's one thing I'd really like to thank Darren for. So, Darren, towards the end of his life, lived in a place called Stroud, which is a small town just outside of Bristol. And when I first met Laura, we started making playlists for each other. It was very kind of like teenage kind of activity. So and the first time Laura came to visit me in Bristol, I made her like a 4-hour playlist for the journey. It was a good one. It was a great playlist. She was loving it all the way down. And then just as she got to Stroud, which is just before Bristol, there was a song came on. And it was a song by a band called, it was a very obscure song, it's by a band called Sigaros, and it was a song called Hoppy Polya. Sorry to the Icelandic friends if I've mispronounced that. And Laura broke down in tears. She had an absolute meltdown. Had to pull out, and had to spend like 10 or 15 minutes composing herself. And the reason she had to do that is because that song was her brother's song, and it was played at his funeral. And his wedding. And that song came on just as she was driving down the Stroud exit, where she used to go and visit him while he was here. And so once she's composed herself, she thought to herself that this is, she saw that as a sign from Darren that she was on the right road. That she was on the right road to Bristol and the right road to me. And so I want to thank Darren for that in his absence. Can we raise a toast to Darren, please? Another person that's not here today that I want to acknowledge is my mum. It's 16 years nearly since Joan left us, and that's pretty crazy. And it's quite emotional for me to think about her now, because it would have been amazing for her to be here. Although if she did make it here, she probably would have dropped down dead at the sight of me actually getting married. So, but it still would have been nice having her here. And I could talk here for hours about my mum and about who she was and what she stood for. But there's one thing I really want to thank her for, and that's instilling a sense of fairness and compassion into me and Louise and Jamie. Because that's what she did. We grew up in a northern mill town in the 70s and 80s, and it was devoid of kind of, broad-mindedness and that kind of stuff. But she had it, and she really kind of encouraged us to be really courageous and to really kind of, be selfless people. And so I want to thank my mother for that in particular. So if we can raise a glass to Joan, that would be great. While we're talking about mothers, I'd like to thank Wendy. Where's Wendy? Oh, there she is. I've got to know Laura's mum over the last couple of years really well. And as she said, you know, we've both got a love of gardening. She said she gives me clippings and things like that, and I generally destroy them because she's a good gardener and I'm not very good. But the thing that I'd really like to thank Wendy for is her support of Laura. Laura is a fierce person, and it's the thing that I admire the most of her. And I'd like to, in particular, she's particularly fierce about making sure that Leo has the best life. And as fierce as she is, and as much as she does that and she champions the right things for Leo, she couldn't do it alone. We can't do anything alone, can we? We need our friends and family to support us through things. And so she could not have done this without Wendy, and so that's what I would like to thank Wendy for today. Thank you very much, Wendy, for looking after us. While we're on the subject of parents, where's my dad again? He's getting another mention. All right, Dad? I'm not going to tell you how old he is, but I will tell you he will be the life and soul of this party. Yeah? I mean, he is a party animal, and that is something he has passed down to us. Yeah? He loves a party. But as well as being a great party animal, he is a very dependable person. And I've lost count of the amount of times that he has helped me out and done things for me. And done things for Louise and done things for Jamie. Now, I will say that it always comes with a fair amount of whinging. He does like a moan. But he does always, in the end, help you out. So I would like to thank my dad for being Mr. Dependable. Well, given the demographic in here, I think most of us, a lot of us, have children. Yeah, I mean, you've just seen my two children on here. I mean, it's very hard to talk about them without getting emotional, but they are my rocks. They are my best men in every sense of the word. They probably don't know this, and you probably people of a certain age, you know, when you have children, you probably do know this, but as you grow up in life, you have some difficult times, you have some hard times, and you go to some dark places. And I've been to some dark places, and those places I've only got out of because of my children. They have been the anchors when you've been sinking. They've been the light that kind of keeps you going. So I'd like to really thank Hector and Luke for being there for me as well. Even though I've been there for them, they have been there for me, and they have kept me going. So thank you very much, boys. I've had this discussion with most people here about, you know, life is about making memories, yeah? It's about relationships, it's about family, it's about friends, it's about moments, and everything around that are just small details. It's about having a great time, and it's about making as many good memories as you can. So I've been very lucky to create a lot of memories with a lot of you people here, and I know Laura feels the same way for her people that are here. But I'd like to spend, you know, just a moment thanking all of the people that have jumped on an aeroplane today. I think at last count, we're about 40 people, 40 or 42 people who have jumped on an aeroplane. I mean, that is amazing. Probably mostly because they thought that this moment would never actually happen and they wanted to witness it for themselves. That's a big thing. But I've got people, and I'm going to say this, we've got my family come from Australia, my sister from New Zealand. We've got Godfrey from South Africa. I haven't seen Godfrey for 20 years, but he's made the effort to come here. It's amazing. We've got people from America, from Dubai, Qatar, Spain, Greece, Germany, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Switzerland, Northern Ireland, Ireland. A special thanks to all of you that made that really massive effort to get here. Thank you very much. I'd like to say a special thank you to the Mantias. They're there in the middle there. This is kind of like my. They adopted me when I went to America. I moved to America quite young. I think I was only 20 years old. And I'll just tell you, there's a million stories I could tell you, but you can probably go and have a conversation with them and they'll tell you them yourself. I don't have enough time here. But one story, like when I first met them when I went for a job interview for an under 10 travel soccer team in New Canaan, which is where they lived. And so I drove down. It was about an hour and a half from where I was actually living. And I went there and I had a bit of a beat-up car. But I went to this, I was 20 years old and I was sat in their front room and I was interviewed by about 15 parents here, and they're all like type A, like mental parents, like really intense. And just to give you an idea of how intense that was, you know, when I coached Hector's soccer team, football team, see I've already dropped into the Americanisms. When I coached Hector's football team, our rallying call is, "Go Scorpions," because his team's called Scorpions. The rallying call of the New Canaan under-10 Blackhawks team was "Kill, kill, kill, blood makes the grass grow." That was the rallying call before we went out onto the pitch, and the kids come up with that. So that gives you an idea of how intense it was. But that was good, because I was competitive as well, yeah? We want to win games, we want to win football games. There's not enough of that in the Hector's team, to be honest. But we do want to win football games. That was really important, not on Hector's part, by the way, he does with some of his teammates, you know, that's debatable. So I moved down to New Canaan. I think I made a good impression. I got the job. I moved down to New Canaan. On that night, my car broke down, didn't it? So I didn't have a place to sleep. It was like 10. It was a long interview. It didn't stop till like 10 p.m. So they would kindly let me sleep over at their house. And then we sorted my car out. Okay, I moved back down there about a month later, and then I didn't have a place to stay. So they very kindly put me up for a month or two in their house. And then my car wasn't very good, so they basically gifted me a car. About 6 months later, I ended up driving off a cliff into a river in Vermont, which wasn't very good, but that's a whole other story. But ultimately, they were very, very kind to me, and they're here today. And everybody who's come from a long distance has been really kind to me, and I can only thank you so much for that kindness. So, there's just a few more. I'm nearly done now, and then we can eat. So, about today, there's a few people we have to talk about. So, the first people is the bridesmaids. Thank you very much to all of the bridesmaids, because they've done an amazing job. They've supported Laura, all of the hen do's and all of that business. Really, really good do. Give them a round of applause. I'd like to tell you a little story which I found very funny. Well, about, and this is just to say thank you to Lauren in particular, because she's the head bridesmaids. But about 10 months ago, we were in my house, me and Laura. We were talking about, Laura said to me, I think I've got an idea of how Laura can like get involved a little bit more. I says, okay, what is it? She said, and she said to me, well, I think I want her to help us with the hand fisting ceremony. I said, what did you say? Look? I said, what did you say? You want Lauren to help us with the hand fisting in the ceremony? And I was like, I obviously got some like images in my head there. I was like, and then Laura looked at me and said, oh, sorry, hand fasting. It's the hand fasting. Well, obviously, ever since she said that, like, I just imagine Lauren helping us with some hand fisting. But it was very funny at the time. So thank you, Lauren, for the hand fasting. Yes, thank you. If we need anything else, we'll give you a call. In terms of today, I've got a list here, so I'm just going to go through it, and I'll probably miss somebody off it, so I apologise. So first of all, we really need to thank all my groomsmen. Where are they? Give them a round of applause. Special thanks to the big fella. What a rendition of All My Life. That was better than the original, and I'm not even joking. That was amazing, Steve. Thank you. I'd like to thank Mark and Joe. I don't know if they're here, but Mark and Joe own this place, and when we just said we were getting married, they said, you have to get married here. There she is, Joe in the background. You've got to do it here. So we're like, damn straight we've got to do it here, because this is the best venue for a wedding. Nobody can get married here. It's a music venue, but they let us get married here, so brilliant, yeah? Thanks to them. Chris Massey, I don't know where he is, but he's been at Mammoth. He's really helped us out as well, whoever Chris is. I know he's inside, is he? He's eating, is he? I'd like to thank Ruth and Helen, who have orchestrated this whole thing for us. Again, you can't do these things without an army of people. I'd like to thank Nick. Where is he? Here he is. Give Nick a big round of applause, our amazing celebrant. What a man. I'd like to thank Laura's dad David for a lovely reading. Round of applause for David. Elvis and Rosie for recording the whole thing. We're going to have some amazing pictures. Amy and Warwick for hooking us up with an amazing honeymoon place next weekend. Amy and Warwick, wherever you are, thank you very much. Ruben, I've seen you somewhere, but thank you for Laura's hair, it's amazing. And John for the gorgeous bouquet. And Dan and John for that amazing dance at the beginning of the ceremony. Well done, boys. And finally, thank you to everyone else who's contributed. And before I finish, there's one person I really do have to thank, and that is obviously my beautiful bride, Laura. She has put this whole thing together. I've probably done about 10%. I'll put my hand up. She has done it all. She is amazing. And her mum's right when she says she can organise anything. She is amazing. I could stand here and say a lot of stuff about her, but I thought rather than talk about, start talking lots and spewing stuff out, I thought I'd write you a poem. So do you want to come up here and I'll say it to your face? In keeping with the theme of the festival theme, I've stolen is the wrong word. What's the word? There's a music word for it. I've sampled some of Laura's favourite songs as well. So maybe you'll pick some up. Are you ready? I'm going to have the mic so everyone can hear it. I better say it to you rather than them. Here we go. Listen, baby. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, ain't no road too long, no matter how far. I'm going to be the man who wakes up next to you. But I would walk 500 miles, and I would drive up and down the M5, M6 1,000 times more. And same line. And the only road I know now is you and I together. Because you're a sky full of stars. Because you light up the path. And I dream at night and I can only see your face. I look around, but it's you I can't replace. I could drown myself in someone like you. I could dive so deep, I'd never come out. I thought it was impossible, but you make it possible. You bring light in the dark. Dark undone. Oh girl, you are the keeper. I love the groove of your walk, your talk, your dress. I feel your fever from miles around. Can't feel no pavement under my feet, all these colours in me, but all I see is you. And nothing else matters. You, baby, it's you. Every time I see you, something happens to me. Red light spells danger. I can't stop running to you. I've never known someone like you. Tangled in love, stuck by you from the glue. I believe in miracles since you came along. You sexy thing. Gonna be you and me. Gonna be everything you ever dreamed. Gonna be you and me. Gonna be everything you ever dreamed. And I've never been so sure that I was right where I should be in my whole life. I love you. I'm going to hand you back to Nick, and I think we can eat now.
I'm not going to follow that. So basically the food trucks are open, the Rockyoke are now coming on. So if you put your requests in, now is the time to come forward and sing. Everybody, I give you Laura and Simon.